So here's another edition of me playing Elderfield. Still liking this game. It's been about a year. You can see the last time I played in a link in the description below, and you can see how much has changed. One thing, of course, being the recall potion, which lets me warp from a location and then stock up, store up, get all my stuff together, and come back to that location. This is the Deep Mall, and I'm going to be trying the Emissary of Daeus today. As you see, the Deep Mall, some better animation than the mall above. Definite improvements here, and of course, all my blessings get washed away immediately. So I'm just going to re-up with as many blessings as I can, just a bunch of potions. Brutalism gives you attack. You can see these little, you can read for yourself. Essentially, potions used to be made little tinctures of things. It was basically you put an herb in 40% vodka, so like 80 proof stuff. And here I am. I'm just like dropping by this guy's mansion or what, a throne room or whatever, and just like doing. I mean, if someone comes into my throne room and does like 10 shots of Kirkland vodka rosemary infusion, I'm going to call AA and hope the guy doesn't barf all over my rug. But here again, so yeah, panic and panic twice. Okay, finds random blessings for some of these. Stubbornness, defense, good. Okay, so just doubles it up, and one more. And now I feel blessed and less stressed. Okay, so of course now to summon a giant fish monster. So there have been a lot of improvements in the game since I last played it. Still got that standard old school animation, just shaking the screen a lot to mean something's happening, and then loading screen. And there we go. He looks friendly. So, I mean, yeah, character customization is something that's been introduced, but it only goes so far. I'm kind of thankful for that there's no fins or gills that you can install in the character. I gave her blue hair and a blue shirt. Yeah, none of your father. Yeah, that's right. You are not the father, Moripovich. Our beautiful form of your ancestors. Let's see what this giant fish looks like. So, yeah, new combat screen with all those claws at you. It's great. Alright, so let's start fighting the Emissary of Daeus. He's got, let's see, 10 eyes and 2 eye spots, so we're going to call him the Fish with 12 eyes. Got my Platinum Star, gives me even more blessings. So, again, a very important part of the game is the blessings. So I'm going to start off. So I had weakness as a curse, so I'm not going to be using basic attacks. I'm going to be using all these rituals. I'm going to start off with Energizing Blast. This is the only turn I'm guaranteed to be able to make 2 attacks, and Energizing Blast might give me an extra AP, so I might get 3 damage. Good. Well, that's a good start, and an extra action point. So, okay, we'll talk more about that later, but build an extra hit. And that's going to be some meaty start. So now he gets hit. And let me talk to you about how we've improved the. So the man who's making all of this has really improved the armor and the gems. So leveling up was great. I mean, I'm level 49. The last time I gave a little thing, I was level 11, taking on a Deep Fryer that had become sentient, and here I am at level 49, taking on some sort of fish god thing with a really nasty beard. So I'm going to go off with some ghost attacks. There. The animation has improved. The leveling up isn't as important in this game as increasing your armor, and he's introduced something called gems. So what you're looking for is you're going to be going through the entire world, picking up various gems, and then attaching them to your armor. I just like to imagine that you're like really shiny at the end of it or something. Very bedazzled. An issue with that, though, is you can make your own armor, but a lot of that item here. An issue with the armor that you end up making is it's often not as good as what you can just find in nature. And if you're adding a lot of gems, you're really buffing up your armor and investing a lot into it. So I built a whole set of platinum armor, and I'm wearing none of it because in some dark corner of some dungeon, I found this pair of overalls. And, once you put 10 gems on it, it's actually pretty high quality. So I'm currently wearing the, let's see, I've got some sort of a cultist's mask on my head. I've got the mysterious tunic. I did make that one from the crafting thing. And then I've got the overalls, and this was like cat boots or something. I don't know. They've got a lot of swiftness in them. Swifty boots. Sure, call them that. I don't mind. And I've just bedazzled this. I look like a Goodwill dumpster, just vomited up a full suit and then handed it over to some kindergartners to bedazzle it. So I'm stunned here. So this is one of the problems of the game is there I eat, and then anything I do is just going to fizzle. Okay, my bad. There we go. So that was my turn right there. And let's talk a bit about the action economy of this. So when I played against the Deep Fryer there, I had 2 action points. And now that I'm here, since, a lot of levels later, I still have 2 action points. And that's part of the design of the game, is you're going to have to think a lot more strategically about how you're going to use those very limited action points. So you can see I got all these rituals. Most of these are just damage dealing here at the top. Down here at the bottom, though, I've got a lot more that are more specialty or whatever. And those are going to help me do things that I honestly won't use, because this guy can do a lot of damage in a single turn. So I'm just going to keep on chugging down these filling platters and refueling my hit points every turn. So he did 50 damage with that attack. He's got 5 attacks. Technically, he could, if he hit with everything and used his strongest attacks, do 250 damage. That would kill me. So instead, he's probably going to average out around somewhere 100 to 180 damage. So I'm not going to want to start the next turn with 121 damage, because he could knock me out. So I'm going to use 1 action point. I'm just going to be like, hey, bud, hold on just a moment. Let me reach into my pocket and grab this omelet I've had in here for a week. Okay, I'm feeling better. And now I'm going to hit an energetic blast. Said doesn't do much damage though, because he's dealing with a lot of debuffs, and he can do that on his turn. He can use a lot of those buffs and debuffs on me and himself to decrease the amount of damage I do, increase the amount of damage he does. That's the advantage of having the 5 action potentials versus action points versus my 2 action points. So that does make the game need to be a little more strategic, but a lot of rituals I can't use. However, these items, as you see, some of them just increase hit points, and some of them also add those little symbols. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Oh, I leave the blast. All right. And let's just take a moment to think about the eating part of this. I mean, I just pulled out a week-old omelet from my pocket. This guy's watching me, waiting to see if I'm going to die of food poisoning or burst stomach first. I'm going to finish up this combat with like a broken arm, a bunch of bruises, scalp barely hanging on, blind in one eye, covered in blood, some of it's even mine, and I'm going to have a stomach that looks like I'm 9 months pregnant with quadruplets or something. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just ate a whole bunch while fighting a guy. Get an extra hit. No such luck. To point out too, the potions, they're very useful, but they're mostly for the blessings, and I kind of appreciate that those are your pre-combat buffs, which do allow you to do the strategy, but me putting some debuffs on him is kind of out of the question. If I were to do that, it would be an extra couple of turns before I can hit him. Here we go, the heavy slam. We're on a risk of the Terror Blast. He's running a risk of stunning me. As you saw earlier, if I get stunned, then I am out for a turn. I'm not going to hit anyone. Here, let me just put this cured spiced steak in my pocket. There we go. I'm feeling great now. Oh, wonderful pocket steak. I'm going to hit Ghost Blast because that makes him more likely to miss. So some part of the strategy here is seeing how well I can make him miss. There you go, minus 20% hit rate. All right, misses. So another one of those things is these little swirls here. Every time I use an item, I get one of these little swift swirls. I just call them swift ones. I don't know. And there we go. I get too swift, and he misses me. Then I have these little swords, and when I get one of those, it stands a bigger chance of doing a lethal damage attack against him. Finally, these hearts are going to help me perhaps heal some of myself while between turns. So this is going to add a sword and a heart. So here we go. There we go. Sword and heart. And because I use an item, I get an extra little swirl point. And that is, let's see, that little extra swirl point is going to be more likely to dodge. So, overall pretty useful. I think at the end here, he might actually increase his damage output. So with all these potions and all these foods and such, it does change the way the game plays. And I kind of appreciate it. This is described as a cozy horror farming game. It seems kind of an odd combination. Well, here's your horror, right? Guy with a whole bunch of tentacles and eyes in all the wrong places. And yeah, he's classic Junji Ito inspired. Love that. That's your horror. Your cozy, though, is you're going to spend a lot of time farming. And very one MP. We need to fix that next turn. So a lot of time farming, a lot of time foraging, trying to get all the ingredients for the steak. Actually took me a couple of weeks. And the steak takes 10 days to cure. This is not a game that's meant to be played quickly. This is not a game you're going to rush through. If you're the kind of person, I'm a casual gamer, and if you're the kind of person who's going to come in late at night and just, I want to play a video game tonight. I want to take an hour at the end of the night to play a video game. All right, let's see if I can knock him out with this one. It's lethal, extra luck, just 0 magic points. Boom. Of course, I get an extra action point right there at the end. And I'm probably not supposed to face this guy off at level 49. The game's not strictly linear, and there's plenty more exploring I could do, but I saw that boss. I beat him already once and realized I could do it again and just show you guys how much the game has improved over the course of the year. And yes, I'm still playing, and yes, I'm kind of lame like that. Anyway, till next time, maybe next time I'll fight some sort of giant ghost.